Two idiots talking over stuff. Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
Wow, we're doing it.
Wow, here we are for
Wow.
our first official episode that isn't just what?
I cut the theme music right off. Whatever.
Whatever, you get the point. We're two idiots watching stuff.
What's up, you fucking idiot? Do we want to keep
What's
doing
up?
that part, you think?
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
It's a little jarring at first, but then I'm like, oh yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah, we're jarring. Although you won't let me do the wet man thing at the end.
I didn't stop you, but it's not my favorite.
I don't understand why. You said yourself that you like wet men.
I didn't actually say that. One of the men I like happens to always be wet.
From that, I can infer.
Oh my god.
And I feel like everybody could infer that you like, all right, well, whatever.
This whole podcast is going to be about that if we don't snip it.
Yeah, nip it in the bud.
Yeah. So welcome to our first official episode, I guess. The last one was just kind of an intro to us. So now we're kind of diving into a more formatted episode having to do with watchies.
Watchies. Also, do you like the name Herding Idiots?
Yeah.
I feel like we could call these Herding Idiots.
Cool.
So we'll have these come out on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we made a decision to do our watch-alongs on a separate episode. That'll come out. I think I'll just make those come out Friday morning.
And you'll have the weekend to do a watchies with us.
Yeah. And we'll talk about what we're watching a little later in the show.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm excited about it.
I weirdly kind of am.
I kind of am too. I feel like we made a good choice.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna suck.
But
it's gonna suck in a real stupid way. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
What's your social media?
I'm at Felicia 3 on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at Al by Night on Twitter. And I think I said last week that I was on Al by Night at Instagram, but that's a lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's Al by Night _JS.
For
Jesse Still.
Stunt man.
I'm Jesse Still, and that's Felicia Shimbari. Anyway, yeah, I don't use Instagram, so you can just at me on Twitter. I'm probably just going to say my Twitter from now on.
Yeah. Or you can find us on our Discord, which is starting to pop off. We got some good folks in there already.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife has arrived. As soon as I woke up this morning, she assaulted me for not telling her the farting therapist story.
Yeah, for anyone unfamiliar, Jesse has a virtual therapist that actively farts during sessions and doesn't acknowledge it.
Not recently.
But several times.
The first, enough that I was wondering if it was part of her shtick, if it was like a power move.
Shtick.
Because it was once and loud, and I feel like probably about the same time. Like it was on it, like she had an egg timer. She had a timer for dropping eggs. Our website is at www.idiotsfm if you want to hear more about us.
Yes, and there's a link to the Discord and social medias on that website.
Yeah, which is at Tito's Pod, basically everywhere, but we've only updated Twitter so far.
Yes. I mean, right now only Jesse has control of the Twitter, and I feel like if I also had control of the Twitter, it might be... I think so. I don't have a login or anything.
Oh.
So
I was gonna berate you for not posting anything, but that might entirely be my
that
fault.
could be
then.
why. See, I assumed you don't trust me to run the Twitter because when Fright Day started doing stuff with the writers of the site,
Mhm.
only one of us got access to that Twitter, and I was told I'm not allowed.
Maybe maybe Byron figured out that you don't hit enter.
No. Excuse me. Twitter has a character limit. Thank you. Jesse has a problem with me sending long paragraphs and not separating it, but that's because it's usually like a dream and it's me just trying to get it all out before I forget. So it's like one continuous thought.
I wouldn't call them paragraphs. I would call them like chapters. Just chapters of unbroken text. I unfocus my eyes and just take it in as a whole, and then I guess at what you're saying.
I've been actively trying to press enter and separate my paragraphs. Have you noticed?
Yes, yep, you're doing better.
Good.
That's why in a friendship you gotta bring shit up that gets on your nerves.
Yes. Even if it, really hurts the other person, they'll never be the same again.
No, it didn't. Did you know deep down somewhere that you don't hit enter?
No, because I think for most things I do, but it's specifically the dreams because for anyone who doesn't know, I have very wild, ridiculous dreams every single night. And I like to just go ahead and share those with people as soon as I remember them. And it's such a rush to just get it all out in as much detail as I can remember before it leaves my mind. So that's why those texts are hot messes, because I'm just like, oh, this happened.
You're putting this image in my mind of like a writer hunched over a typewriter with like a cigarette hanging out of their mouth.
That's exactly what's happening, except it's me in bed sitting upright, just furiously typing everything I can remember.
Well, you started hitting enter, so it's better.
Yes, but still I'll type it all out and then go back and break it up.
Yeah. Well, that's just nice stuff to do for a friend.
Yes. See how nice I am?
Yeah. And if you can email us. We're fucking this all up. You can email us at hello@idiots.fm. We've received several emails, but I can't say why because it's a secret part of the last show.
Whoa, we have?
Yeah. Shout out Code Gang. Wow.
Pretty good.
Pretty fucking good, I think. Hey, what's going on in your life?
Wow, this is going to be a boring segment. We both I barely leave the house. You don't leave the house.
That's true. I would say, how often do you think you leave your house on any given week?
Really just kind of putting me on the spotlight there.
Well, you don't have to answer.
No, I mean, I've definitely been worse since pandemic because it introduced contactless delivery and grocery delivery. So I barely go out for those kind of tasks anymore. And I've also adopted a really codependent cat at the beginning of the year who follows me around everywhere, even the bathroom, and will stand outside screaming if I take too long. So
yeah.
I'm always afraid to leave him for any extended period of time.
Right.
So generally, I'll leave the house pretty much only on weekends, and it's either going to my parents' house, in which case I'm taking the cat, or hanging out with a friend, which there aren't many of locally. So yeah, not often. Maybe once every 2 weeks.
You know what? I'll let the pandemic slide just because it popularized the contactless delivery.
Yeah, it's so much better. I think I'm also somebody with a lot of anxiety, especially in crowded settings, or if I have to drive somewhere where parking is an issue. So I don't like to grocery shop, even though there's literally a Safeway across the street from me that I can walk to.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, but essentially, yes, I barely leave the house if I don't have to. I love my apartment very much. I have a creek in my backyard with just all this overgrown foliage and like deer wandering around.
You live
So
in the
like,
Shire.
yeah, essentially, I have very little like reason to want to leave.
I think you're not alone there. I think there's a lot of people that probably since the pandemic have settled into the same sort of thing.
Also, to transition into what's new with you, it's hot as fuck. And I hate the heat and don't want to leave my air-conditioned house.
Yeah. At this point, I'm very acclimated to air conditioning, as you can imagine. So if I ever like poke my head out of the door or whatever and I get blasted by hot air, it's the worst. But this last week, my air conditioner started to die. So like the fan in the central air unit or whatever was seizing up, and we didn't really realize that was happening, but it was just like getting hotter and hotter. And like North Carolina had a heat wave last week, and it basically started doing that at the beginning of the heat wave.
God.
So it was like 82 degrees in my house when I was working during the day. And then the worst was on Friday when it was like 85.
Oof.
And I had to stop streaming because of it. Like I was trying to like power through it, but I had to turn off my fan for the stream.
Oh.
And then I literally started to feel a little lightheaded, and I was like, nope.
Dude, I can't like, I think Mike and Zoya referred to it as angry degrees at one point. Angry
Yeah.
degrees for me is like 75 or up inside. I can't deal with it. It makes me feel like I'm suffocating. My air conditioner is always set to like 68 degrees. And if
Yeah.
I'm too cold, I'll put on a blanket and leave the air going.
Yeah, ours is somewhere between 68 and 70 usually too. But
Yeah.
it's funny you should say that, because I was wondering, because I know a lot of people do get angry when they get hot, but I didn't notice like a shift in my mood. I was
don't.
just miserable.
Yeah, I think it's more like super uncomfortable than actually like, angry.
Yeah.
It's like a want to crawl out of my skin feeling.
Yeah. Well, it got fixed on Friday night, so now I'm good to go.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, because I don't think we would have recorded this if it was still
No.
85 in here. I would die.
Or y'all would just have to listen to background fan sounds.
Yeah, but it's a loud boy. We got like a big old fan.
Just have Miriam blow on you.
No, that's no. Just warm air and a little stream. No, I don't like it. That would not make anything better ever.
Well, a good husband would let that happen, but anyway.
What do you mean? Good husband lets himself get.
I'm just trying to start
warm
shit.
Air blown through mouth.
Yeah,
on him.
I'm trying to start shit because Miriam, when she popped in the Discord, said that you didn't tell her about your farting therapist. So
yeah,
I'm just trying to wedge.
Dude, this has been a problem our entire marriage. I remember my best friend's wife got pregnant, and I feel like I don't think I told her for like 4 months. Like I don't think to say shit. Like you have to prompt me.
Yeah, is it because you don't think it's important, or you just forget?
No, I'm just absent-minded. My brain races, and I'm always thinking about whatever I'm doing basically is what I'm thinking about. So most of the time I'm thinking about computer shit for work. So like I don't think about that sort of thing unless it gets brought up.
Kind of sounds like something a robot would do, TBH.
Stop trying to convince people I'm a robot.
I don't think I need to do that.
You ever heard of a VoIP conf test?
No.
Oh, wait, you haven't seen Blade Runner, have you?
No, I haven't.
All right, we got to put that on the list. So Blade Runner's got this VoIP conf test, and it's for testing like cyborgs to see if they're human or not.
Oh, shit.
And I can't remember what it is, but I bet I could pass it.
Huh. Maybe.
The other thing is I introduced my D&D group to the term bricked up. Have you ever heard that?
Is it like constipated?
No, that's what one of them thought though, but I get it.
Yeah.
Like I get that. No,
I think I have heard it in that context.
Bricked up in that. I don't think I've ever heard it in that context. As far as I know, this is new slang. This is like hot off the presses slang for erect dick.
Oh. Bricked up.
Yeah, bricked up.
I feel like there are so many better phrases. Bricked up just sounds like constipated to me. I would never associate that with something sexual.
No, I'm telling you, this is going to enter the lexicon. We're on the ground floor, bricked up.
I don't know. I think I've heard it referred to as wood so many times that now I can't think of it as also being bricks.
Why not? It's just it's a harder building material.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that hard.
You can't. If you're wooded up, you're not as horny as when you're bricked up, in my opinion.
See, I'm just getting like can't poop. That's all I think when you say that.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's going to change. I'm telling you, this one's going to take off.
It's going to take a while in my mind because anytime I hear it, I'm just going to be like, oh, you should eat some prunes.
Well, I've already been hearing it in Fortnite constantly.
Oh, it's Fortnite slang. Gotcha.
No, it's not. It's not Fortnite slang. It's slang that people in Fortnite have heard now.
I see. That's where all the trends start.
Yeah. Is that our whole lives this week? You didn't go out and my AC broke and then bricked up? Are we that exciting?
I think that's going to be essentially every week.
Yeah.
I can't tell you I've done anything more interesting than that other than play Skyrim.
Yeah. You still play Skyrim?
Not often, but every once in a while, because I was watching like a Twitch stream where they were playing a game similar to Skyrim, and I went, oh man, you know, it sounds good right about now.
I wish I had that.
I don't think you do. Skyrim is like a disease you can't get away from.
I'm not really a replay boy either. I have like a million unfinished games.
I do too, but I'm still a replay person for games that, because like Skyrim is one of those that you'll just never be finished with. There's so much to do in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And like not even play the main plot line. But yeah, more often than not, if I feel like playing a game, I'll go back to something I've already done rather than start one of the many unfinished new ones I have.
Right. All right. Well, we're in summary, we're interesting. I saw a ridiculous scenario on our AskReddit.
Yes.
Earlier today when I was prepping. And the scenario was stupid. Like, ignore that. But I thought the question was cool.
Okay.
So it's, you have to watch one movie for 24 hours straight or your family dies. Snacks are provided. What are you choosing?
I feel like that's so easy. And I think that it's kind of wild that anyone might even be like, I can't possibly watch one movie for 24 hours straight, even if it means saving my family from death.
Yeah, the scenario is real dumb. You gotta shuck that away. It's a stupid scenario.
But yeah, there are literally several movies I could watch for 24 hours straight. But the top two that come to mind are two of my top two movies. 1999's The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, established.
And What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine's easily Real Genius.
Really?
Yeah. That's number one. It's like infinitely rewatchable for me. It's either Real Genius or Dazed and Confused.
It's also, I feel like, good to pick a longer movie because then you have to rewatch it less times.
Or you could pick like Planet Earth or something like that. So you go sleepies. Because it doesn't say you can't. Well, I guess if you're supposed to watch it 24 hours straight, you can't sleep. So maybe you do. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Dazed and Confused.
Asking me to stay awake for 24 hours straight is harder than asking me to rewatch something for 24 hours straight.
It is for me now. I used to be able to like pull double all-nighters, but as I've aged, that's becoming real impossible. I can't even stay up 24 hours anymore, really.
Yeah, dude, I've learned about myself that I can't get overtired or it really affects my mood. Like I remember grad night when I graduated high school and then we had like an all-night lame party essentially.
Right.
when it hit morning time, my mom was one of the parents who like helped organize it, so she had to clean up. I cried because I wanted to go home and
no.
sleep.
I've never gotten to that point.
I haven't stayed up that long since, probably. So it hasn't really been an issue, but apparently that happens when I'm too tired.
I used to be able to stay up to the point of like hallucinating. You think that's taken
God.
years off my life?
Probably. I
I'm
think
probably
other
like,
things you've done have taken more years off your life.
I'll just move right along. So, all right, mine was Real Genius, but I changed it to Dazed and Confused.
I think my point is just it wouldn't be that hard, and there are several movies I could do that with.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe The Christmas Story.
I feel like I could even do like some kind of musical, and it would just keep me entertained, like a Disney movie or Phantom of the Opera, because it's long as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
You introduced me to Phantom of the Opera. I wasn't a big fan. But you made me watch both of those. No, Beth,
I did not make
Beth
you watch.
Or Lexi.
It was Lexi. We were we were talking about watching Phantom of the Opera, and they meant like the movie with Gerard Butler, and I thought we were gonna watch the play. So we started with the play, and then Lex was like, the movie's better. So then like less than a week later we watched the movie.
I don't remember which one I like more. I think I like the play more.
Yeah, I think
about it.
I think it's also one that you have to experience live because it's so grand, and they have so many like theatrics when you're there in person, like the chandelier like dropping and a lot of wow, I used to be a theater nerd, and now I don't remember any of the stage terms. Oh, fly system. A lot of fly system works.
What's a fly? Is that like the Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Wire shit?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like a very grand thing to watch in person, but I totally understand not being thrilled with it watching it on a screen at home.
I didn't hate it, but I'm not real big into musicals either. Actually, Hamilton is the only one I could think that really gripped me, but that was mostly the soundtrack.
Yeah, and I kind of we're like gonna get off on a real huge tangent here, so I'll try to rein it in. But I think I like musicals because I love the theater, and I love anything that's like been around for a really long time, which is something I like about Phantom because it's such a classic. But like, yeah, the main characters are all edgelords and like really stupid. Like Christine is stupid as fuck, but I do love the music, and I love the spectacle.
All right, is there any new movie or television news this week? I saw this. The top thing on our movies this week was Ryan Gosling as Ken in the Barbie movie. And you said that you saw that? I
did see it. I neither care about the Barbie movie or Ryan Gosling.
You weren't into Barbie?
I was, but not in the sense that I would want to watch it as an adult. And I think it's very tongue in cheek, right? It's not like a serious.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna play to I feel like they're playing to the adult audience.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it if we do it on this kind of platform, but I don't think it'd be one that I would watch by myself.
I'm not sure I would want to watch it even on this.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. He looks like he's plastic, which is kind of perfect.
Yeah. Also, I guess I just don't understand. Like, I think Ryan Gosling is a good actor, but I think I don't understand his appeal as much as, he gets like cast as the stud in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, eh.
Well, he's got like 8-pack and smoldering eyes or whatever. He's a quiet boy.
He just kind of always looks like he's about to say something witty.
Yeah. Well, there was that, and Reddit blew up. I'm assuming they're making fun of him or saying that he's sexy.
Probably. It's usually one or the other, or both.
And then through that, I found out that they're not going to use Aqua's Barbie girl song in the movie, which really seemed weird.
Is it like a licensing thing?
I don't know. I couldn't really find more information about it.
Yeah, I'd heard that too, but I'm not entirely sure why.
But I'm going to play some of it.
Great.
Because I want to get this stuck in everybody's head. Spoiler, I'm about to play the earwormiest song of the 90s. That's it. That's fair use.
Because, yeah, if the Barbie movie can't get the licensing, we certainly can't.
No, we sure as fuck can't. I'm not even sure that was cool. We're going to find out. The only other like pertinent news I saw that applied to me, at least, I don't know about you, was that there were 3 The Last Airbender animated films in development.
Yeah, the thing is, and I think you know this about me, but I don't know if our audience does. I can't do anything that's even semi-anime. I had this group of friends growing up who were obsessive and their whole life and personality revolved around anime, and it just rubs me the wrong way hard now. I can't even look at it. So that's not for me.
So I'm also that way. I'm wondering, are there any other cartoons that you like?
I'm not much of an animated fan, but like I definitely watched cartoons growing up, so certain ones are nostalgic for me. Like, oh, I love anything Scooby-Doo. I as an adult, probably the only cartoons that I'll watch are Bob's Burgers on occasion, and that's really just like when I'm in the mood for it. And then Over the Garden Wall, I'll watch over and over again.
Okay. I would say I could almost guarantee you would like The Last Airbender because it's not super anime-y for one.
Really looks like it.
It's got that quality about it, but it's so different and the storytelling is just very, very good. But I'm telling you, I'm just like you. I do not like anime, but The Last Airbender is super good. I watched that whole thing with Miriam, and I think I've seen it multiple times now.
Yeah, I think I would take a lot of convincing.
I don't know. Maybe audience, email us. Try to convince.
I know it's universally beloved, but I just feel real weird about being an adult sitting down to watch cartoons. Even like new Disney movies. It took me so long to watch like Moana and the Rapunzel one that I can't think of right now because I'm like, I don't think these are for me anymore.
Right. The Last Airbender doesn't have that. It's got some silliness to it, but it's also got like a bunch of adult themes. I'm very bad at describing things, but it's not like any other animated stuff I've watched. I'm telling you, I do not like animated stuff.
Do you think it's one of those ones that's specifically made for adults, or it's made for like kids but has adult stuff that adults can relate to and also watch?
Somewhere in between. It's not meant for little kids.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like 13-year-old, you're probably hitting like the wheelhouse, but the storytelling is so tight and good that we didn't watch it till we were fully adult when Miriam and I watched it, and we loved it. It's so good. It's very good.
I'm not sold, but
all right.
We'll see.
Don't email us. Go on the Discord and try to convince Felicia.
There you go.
Okay.
We come together on a huge silver screen because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get feels good in a place like this.
Hey, what's coming out in theaters this week? You like my cool music thing?
What a hobglob of
We got Nicole Kidman. You sure do. I'm glad you recognized that.
Yeah.
And then something from maybe Trolls too. I can't remember where I pulled that.
Wow.
Yeah, what's coming out in theaters this week?
I
don't know why I keep asking you and then starting to say.
Well, also, I don't know why you keep asking me when you're the one who looked into this.
That's true. So coming out in theaters this week is Elvis and the Black Phone on June 24th, and those are nationwide releases.
Yes.
One of them I'm interested in.
Same.
Can you guess?
I'm going to say the Black Phone.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really interested in Elvis. The Black Phone looks weird.
It does, but I've seen more like trailer type things about the Black Phone, and it's not.
Mhm.
I'm not a huge theatrical horror fan because I feel like it's usually PG-13 horror aimed at like teens and trying to scare teens. So
Yeah.
I don't think that it's one that I would particularly enjoy, but I think as like a popcorn flick, it's promising. Ethan Hawke
Yeah.
is good.
So I was basically completely out on it, and it was for a dumb reason. I looked at the movie poster and I hate the stupid mask. It looks stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of thing either.
No.
But I don't think that I'd hate it. I just don't think that I'd go to the theaters to watch it.
Plus his name is the Grabber. I'm like, fuck off.
And also, you know
Give him a
who the
better
bad.
name.
I don't like it when you know who the bad guy is from the beginning.
That's true. The only thing is, I was looking at Slash Film, and they had a headline that says Stephen King saw the Black Phone and called it Stand By Me in Hell, and that's intriguing.
Yeah, but also, how much can you trust Stephen King?
I trust him a decent amount with like horror. But I don't know. Stand By Me in Hell sounds intriguing. You haven't seen Stand By Me either, I feel.
Not all of it, but some of it.
Okay. Elvis is actually way more intriguing to me.
Interesting.
Just because it's by Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, that's a weird choice, I feel like.
Well, I know a little bit about Elvis in general, and he was a weird dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Baz Luhrmann could really bring that weird out of Elvis. Have you ever seen Romeo and Juliet?
Yes.
Yeah. Like Elvis in that style with some of the weird shit that I know Elvis did is amazing. Like he's going to be shooting televisions, and I feel like Baz Luhrmann's going to pull the best out of that.
I think what turned me off to it is the casting seems weird to me. Like the dude they got playing Elvis does not look anything like Elvis, IMO.
It's not a lot. He played Tex Watson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Well, what? What?
That's a recent one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
but it's a recent classic.
I don't think you can have a recent classic.
I don't think you love Quentin Tarantino either.
No.
I love Quentin Tarantino. I hope we watch that at some point. That one's great.
Sure.
But he played Tex Watson. He was really good as Tex Watson in that. And then he was he had a bunch of credits. I looked earlier. He's got a bunch of credits that I didn't recognize. So I think
he looks like the Napoleon Dynamite kid to me.
I don't know. I think he's close enough to pull it off. Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker is the weird one to me. Because Colonel Tom Parker's like so weird. I've heard him in documentaries and stuff, and that guy is bizarre.
Tom Hanks pops up in a lot of weird places.
That's true. But yeah, those are the two things coming out in theaters. We'll probably end up watching The Black Phone, I would imagine.
I think it might be a fun one to watch in this kind of format. Again, like I don't think it's one that you need to go to the theater by yourself to see, but I think it's a fun like group watch thing. Yeah,
right. And I'm ready to hate it, and I feel like that fits here too.
Totally, no expectations.
I'm just real ready to hate that movie just based on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna do this thing every time we talk about what's being released in theaters, where we guess what the Rotten Tomatoes critic and user ratings are going to be.
Yes.
And then we'll come back around when those come out to streaming and see how close we were. So what are your critic and user rating guesses for Elvis?
Now, I will say, I feel like I could more accurately guess the IMDb because I don't go on Rotten Tomatoes as much. So mine might be off. But for Elvis, I feel like it'll get a decent critic rating. I think the audience rating might be lower. So I'm going to guess like a 87 critic score and like a 73 audience score.
Okay.
I might be lowballing here.
87 and 73.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm saying basically the opposite. Because critics are annoying about weird choices that directors make.
Yeah.
For Rotten Tomatoes especially. And it's gonna be set in a time where there's gonna be like probably a lot of misogyny and things like that of the time. And critics usually do not react well to that.
Interesting.
I think this is gonna be a crowd pleaser. So I'm gonna go like, I think it'll still be fresh, which is 60%, but that's about it. I'm gonna say 60% for critics and like 87%.
I think I gave it a
87 's for
higher
users.
critic score because I feel like critics are easier on biopics.
That's true. That could be. I just feel like they're gonna trash this.
We shall see.
Because if I remember correctly, I don't think Romeo and Juliet was well received either. But
Oh, that's interesting.
Different time.
Yeah.
And I didn't look that up, so I have no clue if that's true. Okay. How about your black phone guesses?
This is going to be considerably lower. I think on this one, critic score is going to be worse than audience score.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say critics are going to give it like a 57.
Okay.
And audience will be like 68.
57 and 68.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're being far too kind. This is
Maybe.
horror.
I'm doing this because it's Ethan Hawke. I feel like when you have a bigger name attached to horror, audiences will go easier on it.
Okay. For me, it's 20% off because horror.
Yeah.
So whatever I think, I'm going to remove 20% from both categories because that seems to be how it goes. So I think for critics, I'm actually going to go like 30%.
Wow.
And for audiences, I'm going to go like 40.
You know, I think my critic guess is too high. I think critic will be more like 47. Let's do that.
47. But you still think high on the audience score?
I do, because I think that it's a like approachable teen summer blockbuster.
Okay. Actually, let me change mine to 50 if you're changing yours to because I didn't think about the teen aspect, and they tend to be more forgiving.
Exactly. Like I can see somebody who has very little horror experience being like, I liked it.
Right.
So yeah, I'm rating it higher audience wise.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's theatrical stuff. And then I wrote down some streaming things that have already come out. They came out on the 17th. And I think going forward, we might as well just stick to that because if you're saying like what's coming out on streaming, it's cool to just be able to watch it then.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So the first one I had was Spiderhead that came out on Netflix on the 17th. And that's Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller. And the logline is, in the near future, convicts are offered the chance to volunteer as medical subjects to shorten their sentence. One such subject for a new drug capable of generating feelings of love begins questioning the reality of his emotions. And I think it said it was an action drama. So Miles Teller was the intriguing part to me. Chris Hemsworth is not in anything that I like.
Oh, that's
rude. Except for Thor.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much. I think when I see Chris Hemsworth in something, I assume it's not going to be particularly serious. Because I've only really I think he shines when he gets to do a comedic performance. I really like him in the Marvel movies, and I like him in The Heart of the Sea, but that's because I like anything about the sea.
Right.
But I don't really think of him as a super serious actor, so I think if he's put in a movie where he's supposed to be taking things I don't know if Spiderhead is supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be like a comedy, right? It's just an action thriller type thing.
It's action drama, and I think it's got some sci-fi elements in there.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. I think it's going to suck.
I don't hate the premise, but I also don't really trust Netflix original movies either.
No. In fact, we almost watched it. I bailed at the last minute because I was like, this.
Yeah. I think
It's
both of us
real
don't want to
iffy.
really watch anything that's just going to be like very middle of the road. And I think that's what this sounds like.
Yeah. I might watch it with Miriam because she likes Chris Hemsworth. Okay. Cha Cha Real Smooth, stupid title, on Apple Plus, came out on June 17th. And the logline is, a young man who works as a bar mitzvah host strikes up a friendship with a mother and her autistic daughter, which is not a compelling logline to me.
I love your little note that it's might be a feel-good movie, which is the kiss of death for me. Which
Yeah.
is true. I was trying to explain this the other day, and there's a line. Like, if a movie has a happy ending, it doesn't mean I'm going to hate it. But I think when I feel going into the movie that the whole premise is just based on being like a touching story, I'm not a fan. I don't want to watch those movies.
I almost didn't put this on the list at all, but I looked at the trailer and it's got the markers of a good movie. It's pretty, so it's at least nice to look at. And the acting seems good. And there's something strange about the character dynamics that I don't fully understand, but it was like a little intriguing.
Yeah, that description would never hook me.
No, but it's got some unknowns in it, and then Dakota Johnson. But it looked a little interesting. I might watch that one, but I don't know yet.
Oh, this next one I really want to watch. Good luck to you, Leo Grand.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before today.
Oh, I've seen previews for it. It's Emma Thompson, and it's like, from what I can gather, like she's an older woman who hasn't had a lot of like adventurous sex in her life. So she hires like a male escort, and it just looks like, it looks funny, and it looks also very like sex positive and very, I don't know how to describe it, but it seems like a genuinely compelling story, and I'm really here for it.
We said the title, right?
Yeah, Good Luck to You, Leo Grand on Hulu.
Right,
I think
June 17th.
Yeah, it's out now.
I pulled a snippet from the trailer because it was funny. If you hadn't heard of it, I feel like this would have hooked you, and apparently it did. So I'm going to play it for the audience.
I'm Leo. You must be Nancy. May I come inside?
Yes. So I've made a list of things that I'd like to get through. Number 1, I perform oral sex on you. Number 2, you perform oral sex on me. Number 3, we do a 69, if that's what it's still called. 4, me on top. 5, doggy style.
Well, that all sounds very achievable.
Have I booked enough time?
You want to do it all today?
Yes. No.
Yeah, it looks really funny, but also like heartfelt.
Yeah, it looked like a good one. I might watch that one too.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah, I think of the 3, that's the one that I want to watch the most, probably. We're down to it. What are we watching this week?
So, we decided to
spit it out.
I'm trying to justify it first. We decided to watch a movie that came to streaming very recently, was very much in the cultural zeitgeist, but had a pretty famous bomb. And that would be Morbius.
Morbius with the emo boy cult leader himself.
Oofa doofa. This
Jared
is not one
Leto.
I ever thought that I'd purposely be watching.
No, me neither. This is the only way I would have ever watched it.
Yeah.
I would not watch this for my own enjoyment ever.
Right. Jared Leto has been a good actor in things.
Yeah. Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, exactly. That was my one example.
That's the only example I have other than my so-called life. I remember walking out of Dallas Buyers Club and being like, that's an Oscar.
Oh, okay.
I knew he was going to win. I actually went to see it with my actor friend Elise, and I knew he was going to win.
He did great.
Yeah.
But he's a very awful person. He has a decent voice and he's a decent actor, but he's an awful person. And Yeah, this is not one that I ever saw myself watching. However, I am weirdly excited to watch it with you on this podcast.
Yeah, I think it might be perfect for this format.
Yes.
So excited about that.
And hopefully y'all enjoy it too.
I should say that the logline is biochemist Michael Morbius tries to cure himself of a rare blood disease, but he inadvertently infects himself with a form of vampirism instead,
I
which
don't
is
think
stupid.
I ever knew his name was Morbius.
Michael Morbius. Yeah, that's also stupid. Everything about this movie's stupid.
Yeah.
It does have Matt Smith in it.
Weird.
Who's the 11th Doctor. So for Doctor Who fans, that might be fun.
It really it hurts when good actors are in shit movies.
Yeah, it's true. What if this knocks us off our feet?
I think that would be shocking.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that would be the most shocking of anything we're ever going to watch.
Yes. I think that it's very similar to Venom is what I'm hearing, and I didn't hate the first Venom. I didn't love it either, but it was watchable in the sense that I could digest it.
Right.
But the second Venom I literally couldn't get through. So we'll see.
What really helped me with Venom was that the first time I saw it was in VR and 3D, and I feel like the action scenes in 3D were pretty cool.
Sure. Also, let's so I'm not a comic book person. I don't know any backstory about literally any Marvel or DC thing that comes out. What about you?
Oh, I've been reading comic books since I was a kid.
So did you have any experience with the story of Morbius?
Nope, not this guy. No, I never heard of this guy.
Okay.
But I'm not the type of nerd that knows every storyline or every character. I read a lot of X-Men, and Batman and Superman and stuff like that. I never ran into Morbius. I'm not even sure if I'll tell you the truth, even right now, I'm not even sure if he's DC or Marvel.
You know what? Same. I think so too.
But I want to say, I was thinking about this a little earlier and I forgot to look. It's weird that he's Marvel because Marvel's already got Blade.
Yeah, and
although maybe Blade has hunted Morbius at some point. Have you seen Blade?
Not in its entirety, no.
We gotta watch that on this show at some time.
Yeah, it's one of those that was on TV a lot, so I'd catch parts of it, but never all at once.
They're rebooting Blade. So there's going to come a time like Top Gun where we need to watch the original.
Cool.
Yeah, but this movie is a train wreck and I can't wait to watch it.
Yay.
That's all for this week.
We didn't do too much more than 45 minutes.
No, we're under an hour. I feel like this is acceptable. Yes. I don't think it got boring at any point. I hope
not.
So the Morbius watch along, we're going to do in a separate episode, even though we're going to watch it right now. But that'll drop on Friday morning this coming week.
Yeah, and then you'll have all weekend to morb with us.
Yeah. Oh, and also I'm going to try to do a companion YouTube edit. I'm not sure if I'm going to release all of our podcasts to YouTube, but for the watch-alongs, I'm going to try to do something where the timestamp is visible. While we're doing the watch-alongs, we'll try to every so often say something that's happening on the screen visually so you can make sure you're still synced up. But I'm going to try to do edits for YouTube.
Heck yeah.
If you want to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can find it at the top of our website at idiots.fm. And we need 100 subscribers to have a channel name that's not a bunch of random characters. But you don't have to rush there because I'm not even sure if what I want to do is going to get copy stricken or not.
Ooh, true.
So, but if you want to waste 30 seconds of your life to go subscribe, that would be helpful probably in the future. Because I think we do want to do some more video type stuff at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you next Wednesday for the Hurting Idiot show.
And we'll see you in the watch along.
Yep. And we don't have a closing tag because Felicia got rid of my closing tag.
It was a bad closing tag.
Only the wet boys part, I feel like.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, goodbye for now.
Bye, everybody. You've been listening to Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell, with original theme and outro music by Jesse Stillwell. For more information, you can visit www.idiots.fm or reach out directly via email to contact@idiots.fm.